Okay, back again with another review video. This time it's of the Revell 1/48 scale P-61 Black Widow. This is a fairly large kit for 1/48 scale. As you can see here by the size of the wing pylons and the fuselage. So it's been on the long, as I said, fairly large. Now, one downside about this kit is that since it is based on an older mold, it does have raised panel lines, which is a bit of a downer. However, there are ways to get around it, either through rescribing or sanding them down slightly just to reduce the sharpness of them. Another thing of note is there is some flash, especially around the edge of these sprue trees. However, thus far, at least with this copy, I did not find any case of it being on any of the actual parts. So, which is good. Now, continuing on. Another thing that's quite nice is that, with the exception of a couple parts in here, well, actually, now that is kind of bad now that I look at it again. You do have sink marks in these bay doors, so that is a bit of a downer. Cockpit assembly. Here we have all the various little bits and detail pieces. Does come with all the cannons, so you can display them with all their bay doors open, which is nice. So it does allow for some definite diorama possibilities. It also gives you option pieces for with and without the top turret, which is nice. The wheels, however, are inaccurate, with the exception of building an A, and even then it's only good for an early A, as the B and later A's had a diamond tread pattern to them. So yeah, you may need to, if you want to get a perfect reproduction, need to go with aftermarket wheels. Here we have some more parts, all the fuel tanks and the props. Props are fairly good, and one thing to note about raised details is that you can see on, don't know how well this will come out on camera, but if you can see here on the prop, it does have a little raised mark for where the tip marking color goes, which does make masking a little easier. So that is one minor nice thing about raised panel lines. Additionally, now as far as detail, here you can kind of see on one of the instrument panels there is a fair amount of detail to it. So you don't have to spend as much as far as aftermarket parts go. Oops, knocked something over. Which is nice. You also get a couple different types of noses on this kit as well. So you can build whichever version you'd like. Color parts also come for all the various hatches and windows, which is quite nice. Instructions are very detailed, as they do give a lot of information of how different things need to go and their various placement, coloring, and so forth, which is nice and definitely will help with building this one, as there are a lot of different parts and assemblies that need to go together. Would have been nice had they done a little bit more for where the pylons meet the wing, as one problem with kits such as this one and any type of Lightning P-38 and so forth is that getting the alignment of the wing booms can be problematic, to say the least, as if you get the alignment even just a little off, it will completely destroy the look. So that is something to be aware of. Now, decals is where there is a major problem. Now, the stenciling is good. I have no problems with the stencils. They do give you all ones you need, and they do look fine. What the problem is, however, is with the nose art, and particularly this one for one of the aircraft, is it's bad. There is no way around it. It is just really bad and ugly. So, if you're going to build a P-61, I would highly recommend picking up some aftermarket decals, particularly by Zotz. They have two very well done sheets. I also know another brand called Kit World also puts out some sheets for P-61, and actually, in fact, so you can get a really good idea, as this particular sheet has both here is the Zotz version, that's the original Revell. As you can, there is a big difference in terms of just the detail and quality of the marking. So yeah, that is something to definitely be aware of. But however, do note though that the stenciling in this kit is well done. So you could theoretically pick up one of these aftermarket decal sets, use all the stencils and such from it on one, then pick up another one and build another one using the nose art from the aftermarket and stencils from the original kit. So that's a potential idea for projects, as it is an interesting aircraft and is somewhat overlooked. So yeah, overall it's a good kit. It could be better, but overall though, it's not one you can really complain about, as it is the only, at least to my knowledge, only 1/48 scale P-61 kit on the market. So yeah, it's definitely one that you could easily go aftermarket and really add some detail to it, which is nice. In fact, I believe it's I remember seeing an article in a magazine I pick up. I believe it was, I think it was Scale Model Aircraft, possibly, or Model Aircraft. It was some magazine that I read. It was a really good article, and I will go check and post a link in the comments or in the descriptor section as to its location. I also will post a really good reference to a group that's rebuilding a P-61, an actual restoration of a real one, which is just from looking at all the different pictures, is really informative, as you get to see all the different components.